G'day, Audi555 here on YouTube. Just making a quick video on anyone out there that's interested in learning how to ride a motorcycle. Now this video is going to be particular for people that live in the Northern Territory in Australia. So I'm just going to go and run over a few things that we'll cover in that. So I'll talk about in this video what you got to do to get your license, the ways you can get it, how long you have to have your learners for, and what sort of courses you can opt to do in Darwin, particularly the metal course as well as the intermediate and advanced courses. Alright, so let's get into it. So the first thing I'll talk about is getting your motorcycle theory component done at the MVR. Now this is basically 20 questions of your general knowledge skills on road rules, as well as some motorcycle questions thrown in there. And if you go on the NT MVR website, you'll be able to find all of the contact information for your local MVR. You can just ring them up if you need an interpreter to make a booking. Other than that, you can just rock up, as long as it's not before, I think, an hour before they're shut. So anytime, I think, before 3 o'clock each day that they're open, you can just rock up there and talk to the guy at the inquiries counter and say, look, can I please do my theory test for the motorcycle? If you currently hold a car license, then you will probably only have to do the 20 questions like I did. But if you don't have a license at all, you may have to do additional questions. So make sure you study up for it. You don't want to get there and pay the fee, which is about $20 I believe, and fail it only to get that non-refunded and have to pay it again next time. So they're pretty easy questions. If you didn't do any study for it, you probably could, if your general knowledge of the road rules, you probably could pass, but don't take chances, just read up on that information. So once you pass your theory, you can do your metal course. The metal course, you book it in, it's usually held on every weekend. You can just go into your MVR or ring them up and make a booking. If you ring them up, you've got to pay for it with a credit card. If you go in person, then you can pay cash or card in the MVR. With that part of the course, it is a bit more expensive than the theory test. I think it's $120, just going off memory, something around that. The actual value will be on the website if you want to have a look. I'll put the link in the description as well for the MVR. That part of the course, well worth every single cent of that. I did that course with no experience on how to ride a motorcycle, and after doing it for 2 days, I was able to jump on a motorcycle and ride it around the streets. Yes, very cautious, and yes, I was a very beginnerish, just getting used to the motorcycle, as well as getting used to other cars and traffic. But I would say, if you've got any doubt in your mind about whether or not you need to do the metal course, then do it, because you will get a lot out of it. They run you through everything you need to do with motorcycle. They start you off doing some theory, so you can learn about the gear you can have, such as helmets and gloves and other protective gear, jackets, pants, boots, eye protection and things like that, so you've got a general understanding. They actually then take you out to the motorcycles, show you how to basically go from looking at the motorcycle to checking the fuel, the light indicator, the clutch, the brakes, and fluids and everything. So you've got an idea of the basics on the motorcycle. They go through clutch control, how to do that, how to obviously stop the motorcycle, and they've got a little set course out in the near the speedway in Hidden Valley, where you can actually drive in a safe, controlled manner in their own little fenced off area where it's just you guys learning to ride motorcycles. No other traffic or anything, so it's quite safe and comfortable, and they will set up cones and do different scenarios and teach you the different skills that you need to ride a motorcycle. Now this course goes for 2 days. I'll show you right now how to get there once you've booked it in. And when driving around, this is what the place looks like, so you've got an idea. yeah, so that's how you get there. Some of the clothing and stuff you've got to wear, you've got to get your own gloves, preferably. Like I bought these on the internet, they're like $60, but they're worth it. They're nice thick leather, and they've got like knuckle protections in there and everything. So if I do stack it, you know, there's a little bit of a less chance that I'll do serious damage to my hands, because I do a lot with my hands, as I'm sure you guys do too. So you want to protect your hands, so you need gloves. If you don't have gloves, they have riggers gloves available there. You can buy them. They're like the style of gloves that are really cheap and tacky. You could probably buy them in Bunnings. They're like gardening gloves, to be honest. You don't really want to wear them. They couldn't be comfortable. But if you didn't have the money to purchase some professional styled gloves or something that's decent, that is an option. But yeah, if you're getting a motorcycle, you might as well get good gloves. The other thing you will need a shirt that goes all the way down to your sleeve and buttons up, or fastens at the wrist. That way you don't have any exposed skin on your arms, and obviously it's a shirt. You can wear, as I did, a proper motorcycle jacket. This is a good one with padding and everything. So if you got one of them, and feel free to wear that if you want. But it is Darwin, so it will be a lot hotter. So you do have that option just to wear like a business style shirt sort of thing, as long as it's decent quality and thick. You'll probably be riding around maybe 40 or 50 kilometers maximum speed on this simulated track, so don't be too worried about coming off and having to wear padding. I wore it because I've got gear, so I figured why not get used to it on this course, so I wore it. For pants, you're going to need something like jeans or some sort of thick material. As long as the pants go all the way down to your ankles, and their trousers, they go all the way down, or jeans or something like that, you're good. Once again, I wore my motorcycle pants with padding and everything in it. It's not a requirement that you have to have professional gear. You can just wear jeans. Shoes, you want shoes that at least lace up, so that they're nice and firm on your feet and not going to fall off. If you got them, wear boots, because if you're a beginner and you fall off your motorcycle, you're pretty good chance, if the motorcycle lands on your leg, to injure your ankle or something like that. So I got these. Well, even if you just got normal boots, you know, as long as you've got ankle protection, it's going to give you a bit more protection, and as a learner you're most likely going to fall off as opposed to when you've been riding for years and years. So I would recommend getting some boots, but you can wear joggers. Just don't wear any like sandals or open footwear or anything like that. As long as it's decent, it's not going to fall off your foot, they're pretty good. Helmets, I brought my own helmet. It's a good helmet, open face and everything. And that was great. But once again, if you don't have a helmet, they do have ones that you can borrow there. So don't stress if you don't have a helmet, they've got plenty available if you want to wear a helmet. I didn't really feel like wearing someone else's sweaty helmet that they've been wearing for, you know, how long, every time someone does the course. But I had mine anyway, which I bought because I was getting a motorcycle, so I brought that. So that covers it for the gear that you'll need. Now I'm talking strictly from the medal course in Darwin. So if you go there, you can bring your own lunch. You'll have a break for lunch, it's usually about an hour, but if you didn't bring your own lunch and you got a car, or you could jump in a car with someone else, during that hour you can duck away, you can go to the shops. There's a Subway close by and some takeaway stores, you know, but probably about 15-minute drive away, so you can do that as an option. If you do bring your own lunch, they've got fridges, you can put it in there during the day and then pull it out at lunch, and they've got a brew room with a microwave, you can make coffee there and everything, so yeah, that's it for that side of things. Now the course started at about 8 o'clock in the morning on Saturday and finished at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It depends on how the group of riders are going. As all beginners, they want to be able to put you all through the course. So the course I was on had about 9 people on it, 9 trainees with 2 instructors, and the instructors, I must say, are really knowledgeable and take aboard everything that they say, because they will teach you how to stay alive on the roads, so you don't want to be just paying it off. Even if you are an expert, or you think you're an expert at riding, if you go to that course and just learn one thing, then that one thing will be the thing that saves your life. So pay attention, they will teach you things. So once the introduction and everything's gone and you know how to do all the safety gear, you're obviously wearing the right gear to get there. They will talk to you about clutch control and brakes, so you'll be able to go out and do some just rocking the bike back and forth to get used to the clutch, getting the friction zone or the engagement point of the clutch down packed. So you're good with that, going forwards and then stopping with the brakes, both rear and front, and both at the same time or separately, and they'll teach you that. And they'll build you up slowly, so don't stress. If you're struggling at one point, they'll take the time and help you to learn it. Most people pick it up pretty quick, and they won't get everyone to go to the next stage until everyone's comfortable at that part that they've taught you. So if they've taught you how to ride the motorcycle doing one lap and then coming to a stop, they'll wait until everyone's done that, so that way, yep, everyone's good, we'll move to the next lesson, for example. And they build you up, so they go from starting and stopping to dodging cones and everything like that. So as well as gearing, it's gear up and gear down, emergency brakes, and then they will also teach you slow and controlled ways to ride the motorcycle. Now for me it was a lot harder to ride slower than it was to go quick. I could go quick any day, that wasn't the issue with me. For me it was the slow part, so I had to use the back brake as well as the clutch and accelerate at the same time as turning to be able to get really tight turns in and things like that. And you're like riding as fast as you would walk, so you get a bit worried that you're going to fall off the bike. The bikes themselves, I didn't talk about this earlier, I probably should have, but if you don't have a motorcycle, that's fine. You don't have to have one to do the course. So the fee that you pay incorporates the usage of their motorcycle if you choose to. So you go there and you ride it's a dirt bike, it's a 250 Yamaha. I think it's like a Yamaha XT 250. Very light and nimble, easy to use bike. So you can do that, ride it around the course. If you have your own motorcycle, you can ride it on the course. However, if you're not licensed, you shouldn't ride it to the medal course, because you're riding without a license, and you won't. It's quite frankly, that's illegal. So don't do that. But you might have a mate that could ride the motorcycle there for you, and then from there you'll be able to do it on the controlled course that they've got. Now, at no stage during this course do you actually ride on the road, so it's all in a simulated environment, so you don't need your license. So it's to get you the license, basically. The next day is basically the same as the first day, 8 o'clock start again. And yeah, they teach you some more stuff, go over what you learned the previous day, teach you more stuff, learn some more theory, watch a DVD, go back out, you're on and off the bike all day basically for both days, and they'll teach you what you need to get your license. And right at the end of the day they have a combination of the culmination of everything they've taught you, and you go around and do the laps. And yeah, if they're happy that you've achieved all of the objectives of that day, you then will be able to get your learner's license to ride a motorcycle, so that's pretty good. However, you don't get that license on the Sunday when the course finishes, because the MVR isn't open, so they haven't been able to process the paperwork. So you have to wait until, I think it's after 10 o'clock the next day, so on the Monday, to then go into the MVR to say, I've done this course. They look it up on the computer to see that information's been inputted, and they will issue your license. I think it's about $6 to get that put onto your license. So there's another fee there, and that just covers administrative costs. So once you've got your learner's license, you're then able to ride on the road after doing the medal course. So good on you. But you can't go faster than 80 k's because you're on your learners. You can't drink any alcohol whatsoever because it's 0 on your learners. So keep that in mind. And just use all the skills that they've taught you on the course to save your life. So have fun out there, don't stress too much. You got any questions or anything about the course, call up the MVR, or call up the TIO people and they should be able to help you out. If not, put a comment in the box. Myself or maybe someone else reading this while watching this would be able to help you out. But I am in no way affiliated with TIO or the Metal Course or the MVR or anything like that. So any advice that I give you is not official advice. It's just general knowledge stuff for you to take on board if you choose. So a course you can do once you have got your learner's license restricted is what they call the Transitional Course. This course has no license outcome based on it. However, it is just purely there to build up your skills and your knowledge at base and everything and how to ride to be able to get you prepared to pass the advanced course, where you have to perform a series of tests to be able to be assessed to say yes, you can now ride unrestricted. So that course is $63. It goes for one day, I believe it's just on a Saturday, and it just builds you up, getting you ready for the intermediate course. The intermediate course is $109 and it runs for one day, and it's usually run on a Saturday. That course has a license outcome and is the course that you do after a minimum period of 6 months has elapsed from your learner rider restricted license. That course there will be able to, if you pass it, you'll be able to ride unrestricted on the road with your open rider's license. So that means you'll be able to have a 0.05% blood alcohol content, and you'll be able to ride any motorcycle you choose, not just the ones on the LAMS approved list. You'll also be able to ride faster than the 80 kilometers speed cap on the learner's license, where the road permits it to go faster than 80. At the moment I've only done the basic course, but if I do the transitional and an intermediate course, then I'll potentially make another video on that to help you guys out if you want. There is one more course that Metal do provide, and that is the advanced course. So that is something you can do once you have your opens, if you want a little bit more skills to be able to do more advanced things on a motorcycle. And you know, all these courses are subsidised through TIO insurance company, which makes them a lot cheaper to do than what you would get in different states such as Queensland. Now other states you're paying like $500 just to do the basic Metal Course equivalent. So we get a good deal here in the Northern Territory, so I would highly recommend it to anyone that's thinking about getting a license. And thank you for watching my video. If you like it, give me a thumbs up, so that way it makes it more accessible for other people on YouTube when they search for the video for the same thing to be able to see it. And thanks for watching. Be safe on the roads. Bye.